As I'm sure you've seen by now, Joe Biden took a little stumble going up the stairs trying to get into Air Force One, and laughing at a senior citizen who fell on some stairs might be inappropriate. I said that it might be. I didn't say that it was. It depends on the circumstances. And in this case, old Joe is asking for it. Thankfully, he's okay, or at least supposedly okay. I mean, he might have sprained his ankle, and if he did, the White House is probably going to keep that under wraps because they don't want to give the impression to the American people, the reality, that he's just too old to be running a country. And somebody at his age, particularly with his mental faculties, I don't know if I would trust them to run a gas grill. I don't know if I would trust him to run a microwave. And thanks to the power of the internet, despite the Democrats trying to censor it the best that they can, we have this clip of old Joe from the 2020 presidential campaign mocking President Trump for doing what every senior citizen should do, particularly people in their mid-70s, which is taking it easy on the stairs.
Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay? Come on.
Yeah, look at you, Joe, but at least you were wearing your mask. And have you seen the memes? Joe is a meme-making machine, and this event sparked a whole bunch of them. Like this one of Kamala Harris lying in wait, just counting down the days until they 25th Amendment him. Or this one, which Donald Trump Jr. retweeted, which of course caused the liberals to cry about it. And since some jokes write themselves, a bunch of different people came up with the same idea to make a meme showing a stair lift, bringing old Joe up the staircase. But leave it to mad liberals, who I think got banned from Twitter, but he's on Gab, who decided to animate the meme, taking it to a whole other level. And as much as they wanted to, the liberal media couldn't ignore this viral moment, thanks to social media, which they haven't been able to fully censor just yet. And so when asked about it, the White House blamed wind.
So the president take a fall on the stairs. Is he doing okay?
As you know, it's pretty windy outside. It's very windy. I almost fell coming up the steps myself. He is doing 100%.
No, it wasn't the wind, and to be fair, it wasn't even that old Joe is too old to be walking upstairs. He was running up the stairs. And parents, how many times do you have to yell at your kids not to run on the stairs? And this is what happens when Joe's babysitters aren't paying attention. But when President Trump was walking down a ramp with no railing from a 6-foot-tall stage after giving a commencement speech while talking with someone and carefully watching his steps, the liberal media made a big deal about it and wondered if maybe there was something wrong with him.
There are some questions this morning about President Trump's health, and it's because of this video of the president where you see him walking very haltingly, one leg at a time. It starts happening here, down a ramp, and this is after he gave a commencement speech at West Point. So joining us now with what he sees is CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Is it balance problems? Is there some weakness there? Is there numbness in the feet?
You know, we would expect such stupidity from random twits on Twitter, but this just proves that Dr. Sanjay Gupta has no soul. What kind of a medical doctor would go on television and pretend that there's a problem when an almost 75-year-old man is taking it easy walking down a ramp with no railing? I haven't looked because I just thought of it, but I guarantee you that the liberal media is criticizing people who are laughing at old Joe, saying that that's insensitive, and you shouldn't be making fun of a senior citizen for having an accident. But CNN did an entire segment mocking President Trump, saying that he was afraid of stairs.
Ever since first hearing about the phobia rumor, I've become slightly obsessed with watching President Trump watch his step. Really watching his step coming down the stairs of the Capitol, even while climbing just a couple of steps at the White House. Coming off his plane, eyes on his feet, clutching the railing.
Mocking a senior citizen for taking it easy going up or down stairs. That's CNN. And like I said, the only reason that it's okay to make fun of old Joe for having a little misstep is because he brought this upon himself. Joe opened that door by mocking President Trump for, well, doing what all senior citizens should do. Of course, old Joe's not the only politician to have a little misstep on the way up to Air Force One. I'm sure everybody remembers this classic of Hillary Clinton. And it's okay to have a little laugh at this too. This is not making fun of a senior citizen having a fall because, well, Hillary Clinton doesn't really qualify as a person.
Hillary Clinton is a damn demon.
Old Joe's going to be resting up for the next few days for his big press conference on Thursday. His first one as the supposed president. Yes, he's technically been the president for over 2 months now, but still hasn't held a press conference. Hasn't answered questions directly from the media. A new record, by the way, because usually the leader of the free world goes in front of the press, the fourth estate, to face questions about what the heck he's doing. Of course, the liberal media is going to lob him a bunch of softballs, but there are some serious issues with a lot of questions that can't be ignored that somebody's going to have to ask him. Like, they can't sweep it under the rug. Like the crisis at the border, the situation as they're calling it, the kids that they're still keeping in the cages. They won't allow press in to take photos to see the facilities. Remember when they were accusing the Trump administration of doing that, and then they opened up the facilities and they let everybody tour them, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went down there and cried? Well, now the same thing is actually happening with the Biden administration, but the situation is even worse. The centers are even more crowded, and they're not allowing the press to come there and actually look. I'm just looking forward to Peter Doocy being there. That's Fox News' reporter, a very underappreciated reporter. I don't want to say that he's our Jim Acosta, because Jim Acosta is a complete jackass, and Peter Doocy is actually a good reporter. And he's the one that asks Jen Circleback Psaki actual questions that she doesn't want to answer and can't circle back on. So keep your eye out for Peter's questions. Oh, and speaking of stumbling on some stairs, about 6 years ago, I was walking up some stairs carrying a laundry basket full of clothes, and I took a little stumble, and I tore the edge of one of my toenails off because I was wearing flip-flops. And it grew back, but the whole corner was dead. It was brown, ugly, and a doctor said that the connective tissue was damaged, and it's just going to be like that forever. And then, like 3 years later, I was getting a little bit heavy, not working out as much as I used to, working too much, sitting in front of the computer, making too many videos. So I decided, okay, enough's enough. Got to get back into shape. And one of the things that I did to do that was I started taking this Vitamineral green drink, started mixing it in with my orange juice. And then my toenail grew back, and it is totally fine now. It had been like that for years, and then as soon as I started taking this dried vegetable powder superfood drink, it started growing back, and I couldn't help but think, maybe that's the cause. And then I heard a commercial for Balanced of Nature, one of those dried fruit and vegetable supplements, which are very popular on talk radio. If you listen to Sean Hannity or Rush or anybody, I'm sure you've heard of them. And one of the testimonials was a woman who said that the same thing happened to her son. It was either his toenail or maybe it was his thumbnail or something like that. He hit it with a hammer or whatever. It's the same kind of thing, right? Where it was dead for years and he started taking the supplements and supposedly it came back. And then I started thinking, maybe it's true. And so for years now, I've been taking this brand, the Vitamineral Green Powder Mix that I put in my juice every morning, and it's available on Amazon.com. And so I've left a link to it down in the description below. And since I'm a part of the Amazon Associate Program, which the Seattle Times tried to get me banned from, might be a great time for you guys to support the channel and get yourself some Vitamineral Green and mix it with your juice. So head on down to the description below in this video to find a link or check out the pinned comment and check it out.